There we go. Okay, so we don't want to keep you guys long this morning. So Tony's on a flight, so she asked us to come in and like just give you guys all the things this morning. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is we're kicking off a series called Transformational Stories. And this is all of Tony's people in the Heart Centered Leader Chat. And what's going to happen is from this Friday through June 11th, we are going to be live on Instagram. There's going to be 4 people at a time live on Instagram that are going to be sharing their transformational story. So if somebody's new, they still have a transformational story for why they hit submit. If somebody is been here a long time, like myself or Renee or Tony or Phyllis, or Amy, like we have a transformational story that might be a little bit different. But the cool thing about those transformational stories is every single one of them is different. But what we're going to do is we're going to be, we are not going to be grouping people, but there's going to be a sign up sheet. So what you're going to do is everybody in the Heart Centered Leaders is going to get access to this sign up sheet that allows you to place yourself with the people that you want to talk to, like you want to go live with. So if you were a nurse, you might want to go live with other nurses. If you were I don't know, maybe say over 40, over 50 or whatever, there's going to be a group of those women. There's going to be a group of women that might still work a full-time job, right? So everybody's going to be, you're going to get to pick the group you're going to be in, or it might just be like, hey, like Katie and I met because of this business and she's one of my best friends in the world. So it might be that, right? Like, who did you meet because of this business, right? So whatever it's going to be, we're going to be grouped. And then there's going to be one live every single day from this Friday all the way through June 11th. And in this sign up sheet that you guys will get, there's going to be the title of whatever everybody's name is, your handle on Instagram, right? Everybody's handle is going to be on there. So you're going to be able to know where to go. And you can choose to do one of two things with that. You can send your people there live. They can watch it live. You can watch it live. If you know how to friendly something, it might be something that you're like, oh my gosh, this part of this little piece of what Katie said is so good. I'm going to friendly this little piece, and then I'm going to send that to somebody that's interested in the business. So what this is it's just supposed to be an introduction to people, telling them what this can do for them, and it's transformational. We are not doing your typical Meet Monat. That is salesy, and it's kind of annoying. So we're not doing that. This is all going to be stories. Stories sell, facts tell. So we're going to go with the story perspective, and we're going to be talking to people about those things. So that is all coming up. And on Wednesday, you want to mark your calendar and give it to your teams. Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's going to be a kickoff call with Toni and then the people from Heart Centered Leaders that are going to be doing this. And all of the information is going to be given. More detail on what I just said. So you guys will then get access to the spreadsheet and all of that stuff. There's a couple other things that are going to happen on that call. One, we're going to be discussing onboarding, because one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about is reasons that people don't recruit is because they don't necessarily know what to do with a person once they bring them in. And we want to make sure that people feel very solidly supported when they bring a new team member in. So there's going to be onboarding given. And I mean, I have an onboarding system. Katie has an onboarding system. Everybody else has an onboarding system, but do your teams know about it? Do your teams use it? And that's one of the things. I'm a Kristen Boss geek. And one of the things that she sells all the time is you have to continue to sell your onboarding system to your team. So this is going to be one more thing that we're going to be talking about on Wednesday night. We're going to be selling the onboarding system to your teams. So this is something you want to invite your teams to this Wednesday night call, because this is what's going to introduce them to this series that we're going to do, the onboarding situation that we're going to do. There's going to be a couple systems that you're going to have to choose from. You can use your own if you love it. Like I said, a lot of you have your own. It just might be one more way to sell onboarding to your people, which then supports them, which then lets them know that they've got somewhere to turn when they bring Sally into their business, right? And so there's a couple other things that are going to be discussed. So I'm going to turn this over to Katie, and then she's going to tell you a little bit about how she's done what she's done. If y'all don't know that this woman almost has 9 blocks already this year. I'm sorry, already this month. She has like 17,000 this year, but she has 9 already in this month. Okay. And she's going to give you a little bit about how she's done that just with being vulnerable in a way that's not salesy, but she's still talking about the business without talking about the business. And that's kind of a big deal. Everything has changed. We used to be able to go like this and say, oh, look at my hair and have people run. It doesn't work that way anymore. And people that aren't willing to pivot aren't going to be successful. Katie is completely pivoted. She's doing this. It's working. And she's going to talk to you about that. And then at the end, we're going to give you guys an exercise to do with yourself and with your team that's just going to work for you. It's going to really help your mindset in this next week. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Katie. But before I do, does anybody have questions on the stuff I've talked about today? So will we do a sign up before Wednesday night?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tony's flying right now, Phyllis. So I know she's working on getting that together. So my guess is that will go in our chat sometime, and then we'll be able to farm that out. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead, my friend.
Thank you, Miss Inza. So when we started discussing this, I obviously, y'all know I'm always going to give my 2 cents worth, but I just kept thinking that our old school way of doing a Meet Monat is just not it, right? Like if I saw some people on a live and all they were doing was pitching their business, I would immediately scroll. Like immediately I'm out of there, I'm swiping, I'm going, because it's so old school MLM thought. And we know that it's just kind of everything is shifting and things are different. And the way that we market to people is different. And we've got to be able to, like Inza said, we got to be able to pivot and we got to go with this. And we've got to be more authentic and more sharing our hearts and how we feel about this. So what I started thinking about, and y'all, I'm sorry, I'm very hoarse for whatever reason, so just forgive my voice. But I think what happened was I just felt like I was very machine-like in the way I was presenting my business to people. And I was doing the old school, Meet Monat, we're in so many different countries, this is our product, blah, 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 blah. Nobody wants to hear that anymore. They're done with it, right? They're just over it. And I thought, okay, how am I going to get people into my business? How am I going to attract people to want to do what I do? Because I don't know how to find those people. I think all of us, when we go back to onboarding, like Inza was talking about, it's like, really, guys, it doesn't matter how well you onboard somebody. It doesn't matter how well you do all of the systems and all of the things. I think every one of us gets so confused because we're like, how do I onboard somebody and make them do the business? Like the point is to find somebody that's going to work as hard as I'm working, right? The point is to find another me. And the truth is, finding another you is like finding a needle in a haystack. We're very rare birds. Most of us on this call, I dare say, we picked up the baton and we started running, right? Nobody had to show us what to do. We got in our back office. We watched all the trainings. We figured it out. We did all the things. And before we knew all the things, we were just running. We were just telling people we were doing the thing. So trying to find those unique people is harder than it seems, because we have found just by recruiting people into our business, how many of those people actually work. I was telling Inza and Renee, when I was talking to them, I said, I've got 47 active lines and only 6 of them, 6 out of 46 active lines are working that are MMP plus. That's tragic. That is tragic. That just shows how many people it takes that you have to recruit into this business to just get one worker, just one person. And the truth in this business is we need teammates, we need workers, we need other people that are like-minded like us that want to do this. So how do you do that? How do you connect with your people? How do I do that, Katie? Well, you just got to start off by being yourself. You got to show up as Inza Duchi, as Renee Stipp, as Phyllis. You've got to show up as who you are, and you've got to be a relatable person. You got to give value, and you've got to hopefully attract like-minded people. That's what you've got to do. It's really a simple formula, but we try to overcomplicate it because we watch what Jimena's doing, or we watch what Brittany Rose is doing, or we watch what Krista Parney's doing. Well, you're not Krista Parney. You know, this is what I kept telling myself, because I would be like looking at some of the top leaders. I would go to Jade Free and I would look at her stuff and I was like, I want to recruit like Jade Free. I want to do that. Well, you know what? I'm not a mermaid. I don't have mermaid hair. I'm 53 years old. I'm somebody's grandma. I'm somebody's grandma, for crying out loud. She's a mom of toddlers. She's got mermaid hair. I've got gray hair. Like, I can't be her. I can't recruit like her. So I said, what is it that she has? What is her secret sauce? What is she doing? You know what she's doing? She's using what God's given her, her assets, her experience, and she's sharing to people that are just like her. Because the people she's attracting are young moms, probably. They're the people that want the mermaid hair, right? And I started thinking, I did this last year. I've told y'all a couple of times. I did this last year. I just started thinking, what does my perfect audience look like? Do I want to recruit other 53-year-old women? Absolutely 100% not. But the truth is, it's going to be hard for me to recruit Michelle Perry. Michelle Perry's not going to look at me and go, I can so relate with that grandma. I can relate with her, because Michelle can't, right? I want to recruit those younger people, because in my mind, I think they're going to work harder, right? Because they're young, they're more hip, they're more into this. But there are other women out there just like me that want more out of life, that want to travel more. They want to do something. They want to find a purpose. They want to impact somebody's life. They want to change somebody's direction. And once I realized that there are other people just like me out in this world, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm prejudging. I'm doing all the things that I've been told not to do. I'm prejudging. So I just started being myself, just being Katie. And there's no secret sauce to that, but the secret sauce is just being you. You are what people are going to be attracted to. So when you figure out how to give value to your audience, and I'll tell y'all, for 5 months, I gave value every day with no intention of selling my product ever. I did not have that as an ulterior motive. I didn't go into it thinking, I hope I'm going to sell to everybody in the world and people are going to start signing up immediately. I was in it for the long haul, and I gave myself a year. I said, for a year, Katie, you're going to go all in and you're going to do this and you're going to share value with no intention of selling anything. And you know what? Oops. And you know what happened? Hold on. You know what happened is that I figured out that there's a lot of people just like me out there that will support me and that will join my business because they want the same things I want. Because they saw in me what they potentially could see in themselves. Now, whether or not those people actually work or do anything, I mean, we're still kind of sitting here in the new period. This is all just started for me. So I'm going to kind of wait it out too. I can do my best. I can encourage them. I can show them the way, because a good leader knows the way, goes the way, shows the way, right? So I'm trying to do all the things that I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to onboard people correctly. I'm communicating and doing all the things. But guys, you just got to show up authentically as yourself. And then the last thing that we were going to discuss was this exercise that I thought you guys could do. So last week when I was on my team call, we did an exercise for the team. If you're in our chat, you've seen it. If not, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. But I want you to take a piece of paper, and you're going to be like, Katie, I'm not in school. Well, yeah, you are. Technically, you're in school. We're all going to go to school. We're all learning new things, right? We all got to be willing to learn new things. But this is what we did. We talked about our audience. So when we're being vulnerable, when we're sharing ourselves, when we're doing all the things, oh, Michelle, you're so sweet. When we're doing all the things like this, right? We're being ourselves. It's very hard for us in our little minds to not get caught up in what people think. And we always say, I don't care what people think. Yes, you do care what people think. You care. You do. Even though you say you don't care, you do. And you better care what they think, because if they think you're salesy, you got to change that. If they think you're awesome, you got to amp that up a little bit. So you got to worry about what people are thinking of you, but you got to remember that there's things that you can control and things you can't control about what other people think of you. That's the part that I think we need to get to. So what I want you to do is take a piece of paper. You're going to fold it down the middle, hot dog style, just like this. Okay. On the left-hand side, I want you to write, and it doesn't matter if you do it on the left or the right, but it's the things I can't control on the left and the things you can control on the right. So what I want y'all to do, what did I just do? Lord have mercy. I just deleted the whole screen. I don't know what I did. I thought I turned the Zoom off. So what I want y'all to do is, if you can just unmute and give one thing that you can control and one thing you can't control. I just like everybody to participate in this because I think this is really cool. I'll give you some idea. Yeah, Phyllis.
My schedule.
You can control your schedule. Yes. What is something that you can't control?
People's opinion.
Exactly, Elizabeth. You can't control people's opinion. What's something else that you can control?
Your mindset.
Yes, Cindy, your mindset. Uh-oh, we got people coming in. What is something you can't control? Amy?
What other people think.
Yeah, there you go. What other people think. What is something else you can control?
How I feel.
Yeah, how you feel, how you show up. Do you choose to show up today? Yeah, Pat.
Whether or not you show up to post in your social media and whether or not you follow up with people.
Yes, Inza.
Yeah. I was just going to say how I react.
Yes, how you react. Yeah. It's like there are things you can control and there are things you can't control. You can't control whether or not somebody chooses to check out their cart. You can't change how somebody feels about you. You can't control if they sign up as a market partner. You can't control if they sign up as a VIP. You can't control if they keep their flagship. You can't control if they think you're weird or not. You can't control so many things about what other people are thinking about you. But what you can control is how you show up, how I present myself. Am I authentic, right? You can control your work schedule. You can control the time and effort that you give into this business. You can control whether my daughter trying to call me so rude this morning. You can control those things. And what you have to realize is that there's some things out there in this world, when you're putting information out into the universe, there are some things that people are going to like and respond to. And there are some things people aren't going to like and aren't going to respond to. And the sad truth is that sometimes you're going to put things out there that you've taken time to do, and somebody's going to unfollow you, or somebody's going to, God forbid, block you. Oh, I'm so wounded. Let me just tell you.
Or say something rude about you, and then you can just turn on your Katie Weaver and put their comment in the upper part of your reel and tell them about how rude they are.
That's how I roll. But here's the thing. It doesn't hurt my feelings. If you don't like me and you unfollow me or you block me, then bye, sister. I did not want you up in my house anyway. And there are people that I thought were my friends, that I literally thought were my great friends in this business, that have blocked me, that have gotten rid of me. And you know what? Bye. I hope the door didn't hit you on your way out. And I really hope the good Lord blesses you wherever you go, because I cannot control what you feel about me. And if you don't like me, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just doing my best to connect with the people that God's putting in my path that he needs me to connect with. That's my purpose in this world. And my purpose is not to make every single person on the earth happy. I'm going to tell y'all, since I've lost weight, it has really shown me, it has opened my eyes to a lot of things of people that I felt like were in my corner that are not in my corner. It's very eye-opening. And it's fine. I'm okay with it. Does it hurt me? Yes. But you know what? I will grow from it and I'll learn from it. And that is just part of this business. And I'm telling y'all, only the tough people are going to survive this business. It's only the tough dogs that are willing to run and to stay in the pack and to keep on running and to keep on trying, because one of these days you're going to figure it all out and it's all just going to fall into place. You know, my favorite saying is something happened because I stayed when nothing happened. You got to stay when nothing's happening, and you got to continue to give the effort and do the things and follow through, because one of these days it's just going to fall into place and God's going to lay it all out for you and it's going to make perfect sense. But until then, you feel like you're running in confusion, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm out here in the desert. I'm dying. I've been in the drought. How many times have we said we've been in the drought? Just change your mindset, change the way you talk to yourself, speak to yourself in abundance, be anticipatory of great things coming your way. Anticipate the greatness that's coming. When you live in a place of scarcity, nothing is going to come to you. But when you live in a place of abundance, guys, it just opens your eyes, but you have to force yourself to go to the abundance place, because naturally we want to go to scarcity, because all we want to talk about is everything that hasn't happened for us. But when you wait of things that are going to happen for you, it gets so much easier. But I think this whole series is going to be great.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've learned recently from my coach is that when you thank God in advance, so one of the, I literally have changed the way I pray. Like, I thank him in advance for whatever it is, for healing my shoulder, for helping me to get up early. Like, God, before I go to bed, I know that I want to be up by 7:30. I know for some of you that's not early, but hey, I'm asking him and I'm thanking him, and I'm acting as if a conversation I had with my husband a while back is that I want to live as if and not what if. And it was kind of a moment for he and I to really explore what that means. And that you can use that for your business, you can use it in your marriage, you can use it with your children. It's literally something that, if you think of, well, what if I don't get that block this month? Okay. But instead, I'm going to show up as if I have that block this month. There's a completely different attitude that goes on within that. And thanking God in advance has really changed things for me. And also just making sure you have the right people in your corner. Because if you show me your friends, I will show you your level of success. I will show you your level of happiness. I will show you your level of commitment to anything in life. And I'm not even speaking Monat here. I'm speaking your life. So you really have to examine those things, because I've done a lot of work on me in the past 2 years and have changed a lot. One of the things I quit doing, Katie lost weight. I decided drinking wasn't serving me, so I quit drinking. And I've lost a lot of friends because I don't do the things that I used to do. I don't go the places I used to go. I have a complete veil lifted off of my mind on everything that I look at. I look at it from a completely different spot. And when you are bettering yourself in any way, it forces somebody else to look at themselves. And instead of saying, oh, Inza quit drinking and she's doing this and she's doing that, I'm so excited for her because this is what she's decided to do for her life. Instead, they turn it around on themselves and they say, oh, well, Inza quit. Well, I'm not quitting drinking, and or I don't have to lose weight, or, I don't have to. And they make it this negative connotation towards themselves. And when people do that, it's not healthy and it's toxic, and that's toxic for you. So when you better yourself, just look out for that and don't let that come at you. And that's in your entire life. So anyway, we are almost at our half an hour mark. Does anybody have any questions about any of the things that's happening? Wednesday at 8 p.m., remember, is the call that's going to kick all this transformational stories off. Do you have any questions about what we're doing? Just unmute yourself. Do you have any questions for Katie and her 9th block wisdom?
Y'all, I'm just trying to keep up with all the other leaders, so y'all can just pray for your sister because they're half my age.
Did notice you were number 2, right behind Jade.
And if anybody has any any advice for Ann Hudson? I can't believe that your Facebook got taken away. So I've never had that happen. So if anybody has, help a sister out.
I'm washing my face. Thank you.
You're welcome, honey.
I don't know anything about Facebook, or, I mean, I'm not on Facebook very much, but I know Ann said that that was where she connects to be able to see links like this Zoom and everything. And Ann, I don't know if you can just make a new account to join the groups, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, this is a complete.
For sure. That's what I'll try to
reason.
do. I'll
I'm
at least
sorry.
do that that's what I'll try to do, at least to get this information. So yeah.
And this is a complete reason why, you guys, I don't know if you collect your phone numbers, your emails, whatever, but I know Ann has done that. So she at least has a backup. But if you don't have a backup for all of that, like that's a thing. So that's something that you want to think about, because we don't own our social media accounts. They do. So
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning. And Sarah Hill was really the pioneer in getting my brain behind that idea of capturing everyone's information and making a newsletter for your people to be able to keep them connected in the event that social media goes down. I remember her saying something about that, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Just trying to keep up with people, trying to make sure that you stay a good customer service representative to your people, because you want to retain what you bring in, right? Like if you bring people in and then you don't do anything to take care of them, that's really not growing your business at all, because the whole thing about making residual income, and I'm not trying to make I know I have to say I can't do a income claim or anything like that, but I'm just saying, to make residual income, in order to keep it coming in, it's great customer service that keeps people in your whole system. So we have to really be conscientious of that, I think, too. But I really hope y'all will do this exercise of can and can't control. Share it with your teams. It's a great exercise. My girls did it and they posted it on social media of things that they can and can't control, like a picture of themselves with their can and can't control. It was very powerful. And for people to see for themselves, they know it in their brain, but when you write it down on the paper, it just makes it so much more tangible. And you can really look at it throughout the week and realize that there are things you just can't control about other people.
And there is science behind writing things down, not just typing them on a computer or typing them in your phone, like using a pen, writing them down. I know Amy and Renee have a love affair with paper, and they are very particular about the kind of paper, but it's because it shoots a message to their brain. So Amy's got all her notebooks right there. So
Same, Amy. I'm like that too.
So one of
All
them
right,
is my to-do book. So I write down all my to-dos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in a power hour. The other one is a journal. And so it does keep things a little separated, but it's a good system. Can't keep it in your brain up forever.
It
Have
is
a great week, everybody. And thank you, girls. This is amazing.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have any questions before we hop off? All right, well then we'll see you Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Have a great day. See you guys.